Right everyone, we're back on the car to deal with this steering servo. Now that we've actually got it going, this is the next job we've got to tackle. I'll take in here, the gears grind, and then obviously it just stops altogether. So we'll whip it out to start with. And we'll have a look. Take this off as well. I'm hoping they've just become misaligned from being crashed or whatever. Gathering you should be able to do that, yep. Unplug it from the receiver. And I'll actually move this car out of the way and you can probably zoom in a bit. Right, so here it is. Doesn't sound particularly great. So let's see if this is actually openable. It is. There's 4 small screws on the bottom, so let's see if we can whip these out. That's the screws out. The lid should just come apart. And there's all the gears. Looks like to me, is there a cog snapped off there? See there? Seems to be a bigger gap in that particular spindle. Try and zoom in a bit closer there. You can see it looks like there might be one missing there. See if it's snapped off. You wouldn't think it'd be so slack for one missing pin. So I turn the main cog that's actually coming out, this metal one here, see what happens. So it's turning the bottom 2 spindles by the looks of things. But it isn't turning any of them above that, I don't think. There it is, it's turning that one very slowly. Is it just that the cat weren't located properly, do you think? That pin was out as well slightly. I've just pushed it back in. Trying to see if all the cogs are moving when I move this small one. Very hard for me to show you. So obviously it gears it down, I guess, till it barely moves the top one. As you can see there, it definitely doesn't sound, that's a lot smoother. Maybe it just went past where it's supposed to go, because that one, you see it's got like a pin on the top. And I guess that's a stop there, so it can't go any further. Maybe it just gone past the stop, so now I'm actually doing that. It seems to be moving fine, but it isn't moving at the bottom. I don't know if I can take these off. I guess you can. Yeah, there's that one off. I need to remember what order these go on. So these two look to be fine. They're set in place to move. Put this one back. See, them three are now all moving together. And it sounds a lot better as well, actually, like that. Sounds way better. So put this one back on. Yeah, it seems to be working fine. Just go on a specific way it does. It's like, you can see that metal pin, it's like lipped. So this will only go on one way. Which is this way, I believe. Yep. So when that goes on, it doesn't seem to run as smoothly. It doesn't seem like any of the pins or anything are actually broken on this. What about on this one here? I mean, they all look fine. I say it's moving perfectly fine there. Maybe that's misaligned. He's lining up with the other, where I was saying there might be a missing pin. Maybe it just needs to be lined up. Because there's missing pins there, you see. It's the same on that one, and then there's obviously that, I guess, stop there, which is the way round it goes. It lines up, I believe. Maybe not. See, once I put that top one, it seems to stop. When you turn it, actually that's probably... Put it back together, actually, and just test it again. It could be this part here misaligned or something. Still seems to be jumping cogs. It could just be this bit. Let's try and get this bit off again. Ooh. Could it just be this bit on the front? Dirty, or the cogs are worn. I'll clean it up a bit, just for cleaning's sake. Fiddly this, anything with cogs and stuff, gearing, always a fiddly. So I'll locate this first if I can. Hopefully straight. I will just put the screw back in there. Doesn't sound great, does it? Just from that. I'll stick a battery on it. Plug it back into the receiver. You wonder how wires can get so tangled in such a short amount of time. Right, I need the control now. What did I do with it? Okay, the gears must just be spinning in the servo. That doesn't sound good at all, does it? Let's take this back off. So obviously the cogs are just spinning inside it. It might be worth having a go trying to actually have a look what's happening without the top on. See which ones are spinning and where they're not actually connecting with each other. I knew this would probably be the fiddliest part of the whole job. So let's take the lid off. It's still plugged in, so as you can see there, probably very difficult to see on camera, but the first cog, the metal cog here, and the first one is spinning and none of the rest are. So I guess it's trimmed up right, it should be stopped. I can do left. And then there's no, I guess, pressure against it, so it starts just going on its own again. If I put the cog, push the cog back in, give it some. You can see it just spins that first cog. The second cog is not connected properly to it. It's probably, you can see it probably is missing cogs there, and eventually it goes round and it gets stuck into that bit where there's no cog, so it just spins. As soon as you put it back into a cog, you can see it drives it. So whether that's an alignment thing or whether that has got missing cogs, I don't know. Can you see on camera, zoomed in, if it's broken or whether it's built like that? Very hard to see with the naked eye. It's tiny. So let me try and have a look. Personally, I think it's snap teeth. I can see with my naked eye, it's probably really, well, you can see the little lines of plastic or where there would have been a cog and it's snapped. Can you see that right there? Yep, can see it. Just in there, you can see the white lines where it looks like teeth would have been. So I think with these gears, I don't think this servo is fixable. Because I think that part's got a snap gear as well. A missing tooth. The main one at the top and the main bottom one both seem to be fine, but these two I think have definitely got missing teeth, so it looks like I'm going to have to, well, you can probably buy new gearing sets, but by the time I've bought a new gearing set for a few quid, I mean, it could only be 99p or something, I'll have to investigate it. It might be just worth buying a whole new servo. So really, until I've investigated what to do with the gears, I don't think these gears are repairable. There's not a lot more I can do on this car at the minute. I'm going to have to order some parts, so I'll have to come back to it when I've got the new parts in, unfortunately. Alright everyone, so I'm back, and here's the whole servo where we left off before. It has this kind of adapter, which apparently these ACOMS servos were built with a non-standard plug, is what I've since found out. So you can buy these on eBay, these old ones. They're about £10, but I thought if I'm doing it, I'll give it a go and try and upgrade to some metal gears. So I've bought this one. It's got metal gears, metal shaft there, but it's got one of these plugs. It might look the same, or like it's going to be a similar connection, but if you look at the wires, they're in a different order. The pins actually do fit in the slots in the car, but when you plug this new one in, it will not work. So what I'm going to attempt to do is snip that, strip the wires, and try and solder it onto the new servo and see if it works. I mean, if it doesn't, I'll buy another one of the old ones. We'll get it going. But I thought, let's make the video a bit more interesting and also try and upgrade it while I am at it. Right, so before I go snipping wires, actually, because they are exactly the same size servo and everything, I'm going to actually open this one up and see if the cogs are the same, but just metal as they are in this one, and I can swap them over instead of trimming wires and trying to solder and making a mess. As interesting as it probably would be to see my terrible soldering skills again, this could just be a bit more of a ingenious way of actually doing it. So let's crack this open if I can find a screwdriver. Going mad. It's not quite bedtime yet. Right, so yeah, we've unscrewed it. This one, the bottom comes off the plate, and we'll take the top off so you see it's greased and everything. It looks a similar configuration. I'll have to get the other one apart to know for certain though. So here's the old one. Kids are slamming around in the background. So it is a different configuration, you can see there. Yes, I don't think... can we swap them over? Yeah, so looking at the configuration of these internal cogs here, it doesn't look like they're just interchangeable, which is a little bit annoying, as is my dog walking around on this hard floor when I'm trying to film a video. But yeah, you can see the complete configuration, different cog styles. I can't swap them over, so we are going to have to play the old fun time soldering game. So let's go for it. I'll put them back together first, actually. Anyway, let's get snipping the wires. I really should get a different background, but I'm going to give a bit of space. Bit of extra cable in case I want to put it back together. Same on this one. So, with my unexpertised wiring skills, I'm going to take a punt on which wire goes with which wire. And I'm going to go with, you guessed it, red goes with red. I'm going to go brown goes with black, and orange goes with white, because I'm assuming red and red's power, black and brown are earth. And I guess the other ones are maybe some kind of data transmitting. I'm not entirely sure. You tell me in the comments. Like I say, I'm no professional here. I am just taking a punt on these things and giving it a go at fixing stuff. I'm hoping to learn as I go along. So your guys' comments always help me with that kind of thing. So keep them coming. So here's my wire strippers. Just a cheap pair. Right, so there we go. That's all the wire stripped. Now, to get to my most fun thing of soldering, I'll go get my little stand as well. Right, so I've cut the cables, twisted it together. I can't remember what I last said because I forgot to press record, so this might be a nice continuing part of the video. I might have missed a bit out after adding in editing. I was just thinking, should I solder these now, or should I twist them together and test it before I take the plunge and then have to unsolder everything? So what I think I'm going to do is twist them all together and actually test it first. So I'll come back when I get to the testing, because you don't need to see me twisting wires together. Right, so I've got the servo plugged in now down there. You can just about see it. None of the wires are touching each other, so I'm just going to carefully plug the battery in. And hopefully it doesn't go crazy. So there we go, the battery's in. Turn the transmitter on, receiver, whatever you want to call it. The battery's in here. Oh. So there's the forward motion going straight away. Let's try and just... Yeah, so there we go. I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to stop it from going forward. Right. So you can see it moving. Just let me try and sort this, because it wants to constantly move forward. So this needs the forward... perhaps I could probably do this without the battery, actually, maybe. So the battery's not plugged in. You can see the servo's moving. So you should be able to see that. So it looks like that is all wired up the right way. So we can get to soldering and then see how the steering works. And there's the 3 wires we're going to be sticking a bit of solder on. I do apologise for the lighting, as I've previously said, but you should get the idea of where we're going with this. So let's go for it. Soldering iron. It's not got a very long cable actually, probably won't be able to reach. We'll try our luck anyway. So that seems to go okay. Stick a bit more on just for good measure. Lovely job. Or at least for my standards it is. And the last one. This one's a bit of a stretch on the old cable. I tried to sit a little bit more in the middle of my table for the light. The soldering iron won't reach. Right, that should be good enough for me, just to keep them in check. Right, yeah, that's definitely good enough for me. Until we test it and it doesn't work. And then we'll have another go. Incredible soldering skills. It actually is quite fiddly. These are pretty small. I mean, they're not tiny like electronic tiny like I've done some of my other videos, but you know, they're not big wires I'm soldering here either. And there's 3 of them very close together as well, which makes it a little bit more of a pain melting the plastic and whatnot. I'm going to quickly test it again. I'll just do it here quick. See if you can see it moving. Turn it on. So there you go. You can see it, probably hear it as well. So that looks like a job pretty well done. Alright, so it's back in its home, so I'm going to screw it in. So we need the steering linkage from under here. Hopefully this fitting fits from the old linkage to the new sprocket, and it's set in the right place, which is a very big possibility that it won't, but it did come with a selection of other linkages, so I probably have to find the right one to use if it's the case where it won't fit. And by the looks of it, it is going to be a case where it doesn't fit. See, that will not slip on. There must be a different amount of pins on the inside of this cog that connects to the steering. So let's have a look what we've got in the little bag of tricks and see what we can come up with to get this steering going. If I can open the bag. So, got a selection here. Round, stars. As you can see in there, there's like a cross and just a normal straight one. There's a load of different screws and whatnot. So, should we ever go with a straight round one to start with? It's these pins down here that I'm more worried about. They've obviously got to go into there, and this is a obviously a special shape made for this car. I'm not sure if there's some spaces. I'm not sure which one is going to work best at the moment. Right everyone, I'm back again after trying all them different new adapters. None of them seem suitable because the way that this one, it's very difficult for me to show you now, it's on there. You see that it goes down, it goes in and then down into that cavity. None of the others do, they're too high. So the steering will turn one way, but it just moves the rod on the other one and it doesn't actually do a full steering movement. It'll like move one wheel and not the other. So I've had to make this adapter work by basically that plastic being plastic and obviously that being metal can basically just force fit it on. So what I've had to do is I just use brute force to push the old adapter onto the metal cogs. And I'm going to hope that that works. If it doesn't, I don't know whether someone who's into these type of cars knows more about building them and putting them together and whatnot, has got any better ideas. But for now, this is the only thing that I can think that can actually get it working. So if I just put it all together, turn the receiver on, or the transmitter, whatever you want to call it, put the actual car on, and then if you watch the steering, so there you go. The steering is now working. So we've got working steering after all that with an upgraded servo that we had to cut the cables and reapply the old ACOMs as they didn't have the same connection. I found out later. The motor problems that we had to start with are fixed, as you can see there. The speed controller moving forward, back. Got no battery set up, so it's not going to go. So now I need to tidy up all the wires, give everything a good clean up. and sort everything out. You see the servos running there. The servos run off these batteries, they don't run off the main battery. That's how old this is. It's basically got two separate systems. So let's put it all together. Well, I'm going to tidy the wires up, give it a good clean and put it all together. See the corrosion in there still from when we first took it apart. I need to clean that up. And I forgot one thing, the wheelie bar, which is bent and obviously not connected right, so let's unscrew this if I can, and we'll try and, actually it doesn't really need bending back into position. I'll try and bend it while it's on there. No, I'm going to have to try and take it off. Well, we will take it off. So I think missing a screw at the other side. In fact, it is broken at that side. Split the plastic. So we'll have to see about that. Maybe a bolt will be better. I'm just going to press this against the table to bend it back into shape. Or at least straight. So there you go. That'll do, it's bent out there. So let's see what we can do with this. I think a bolt or a rod that would go all the way through would work better. Because I'm not sure it will screw into this broken side. I mean, it might do. It probably will. I'm going to see if I've got a longer screw that'll go all the way through. It's around about the same size. Let's just try this one. But the wheel gets in the way a bit of screwing this in. I'm not sure if that actually does go all the way through or not. It's supposed to be screwed in from both sides. I'm not too sure. So it's very difficult for you to see up there, but it's just a screw on the back of the gearbox that holds this wheelie bar in place. Try and line this bad boy up. Screw it in. Now I've got this on, it don't want to screw in, it's because it's split. That's better. Let's just see what I can put in the other side. got a nice little, just got a little box here of random screws that I've just collected over the years, all sizes and shapes. There's no organisation in here whatsoever, but I usually can find something that I need in here. This one might be a little bit fat. Give it a little whirl. Looks like it's good enough. Just to hold this wheelie bar in. Yep, there we go. Wheelie bar is in. Lovely stuff. See, connected up now. In case it does wheelies. I'm sure it used to. Right. My next problem is how am I going to get that to stay on there instead of flapping around inside? So I guess there would have been a battery strap and the strap for this. They're both missing. So I haven't got anything to hold the batteries in place. So obviously you'll have the battery in there connected up. Batteries there, but obviously once it's going they'll start flying all over the place. So I don't know if I've got anything to use. If I've got oh yeah, they are reusable tie wraps. We've got a little clip there. If you put them through this second hole down, the hold, then you can unclip it. So we'll definitely be using these. So let's get the batteries back in here. And will it go all the way around? If we put it through there, over the main battery, through the slot, strap it up, works like a charm. Works a charm. Alright everyone, so hopefully I'll be able to wrap this up. Like from the video before, I took a bit of a break. I've tidied things up off camera. As you saw me put the strap on the battery. I've put a strap through the chassis onto the receiver pack, and I've also strapped in the actual receiver into there. I tidied up the wires a bit. It's still a bit of a mess, but I'm not too concerned about that. Cleaned up the inside a bit, not too much. Like I say, I'm going to use it. I've tightened up the nut here just with a quick spanner. It's only very small, 3, 4, 5 mil nut. Just try and save some time on the video because it's getting to be a very long one, 2 parts. I've skipped up the cleaning up a bit, wire tidying. I also had one other issue that I've done off camera. I went to tidy the aerial up, and when I pulled it, come straight out, it wasn't connected. So the wire for the aerial wasn't connected to the receiver at all. So the car had no range. It'd go like a meter and then would go out of range. So what I did was I opened up the receiver and just resoldered the aerial wire back to the terminal. I wouldn't have minded showing you that, but I can't. I think I forgot to press record on the camera, and after strapping it all in, I can't be able to take it away. But it's a simple job. The wire was snapped and it was too close to the receiver, so you couldn't rejoin the wires together. So I had to open it up, just 2 screws, unsoldered the tiny bit of wire that was left, and then resoldered the wire back on. So we're all buttoned up, new servo, battery in, batteries, cables and everything tied down. I'm hoping we're now ready for a drive. So I'll take you outside and we'll get to it. Hopefully we'll have a fully working car. So I'll be back for a test drive. So the moment you've all been waiting 2 hours for this car to go, let's give it a rock and roll. As you can see, it's working perfectly fine. Got range now, resoldered the antenna back on. Handles pretty nicely for a car from 1980s. Let's see if it'll go off-road. Oh no, we're stuck. As you can see, it's working fine. Need some new body clips. I've only got one. That's why the body looks to be wonky. As you can see, oh, crashed it. It's fairly quick. It's working just fine. Still driving. But I got off there that time. It's a bit wet today. Let's go on the decking for a bit of drift action. Super slippery on my decking. Oh no. Literally does burnouts on the decking because it's that slippery and the battery's at the front. It's weighted down at the front. Can't get any traction. As you can see, it works perfectly fine. Just need to get the right battery in it and some proper body clips and we're ready to rock and roll. The decking's so slippery it won't even go. Can't do anything. Anyway guys, I know this has been a long video. Hope you've watched the whole 2 parts of me restoring this Dakar Rally Tamiya 1984 Mitsubishi Pajero. And if you want to hit the like, favourite and subscribe, please do, it helps out a lot. Nearly 100 subs. And cheers for all the comments, support you want to put on the video. Keep it coming. I'll keep trying to make videos of things I find that are broken around the house. Peace.